Welcome back to Easy Spell, where the name's Easy to Spell, and we did it wrong anyway. I'm your Dungeon Master, Andrew. Joining me, -1. We're down a Lucy and tonight, so no Yashta. But we have the rest of our fabulous cast, starting with...
Hi, I'm Will, and I'll play Dominique.
I'm Rachel, and I will play Angelle.
I'm Mike, and I play Sai.
And I'm David. I'm playing Averin.
About that level of
Good.
enthusiasm.
Sad David tonight, I guess, because we've been making fun of you in chat.
Y'all make fun of me, okay? Every time I get all hype and shit, y'all make fun of me, okay? Leave me alone.
We appreciate the way that you kick off the pre-stream every time, David. It
Every
doesn't
time.
get old at all. I love
No,
it.
never does.
But welcome back. You're here right on time, so you probably already follow us on a lot of our socials. But if not, please on Twitter, Facebook, this Twitch, YouTube,
TikTok.
all that stuff. It helps. TikTok. We have an active TikTok now, which you can get our recaps delivered right to your phone for the previous week, which is a lot of fun. I don't know. Do we have other announcements? I always have to ask. I need to start checking before we stream, but we don't have 100 followers, so I don't have a script.
We do want to call out Rep RPG because they're super awesome, and I want to say that y'all should go watch their PvP league because our wonderful DM is playing in the PvP league. Do you want to talk about your Do you want to talk about your you guys winning and what your team is called because it's awesome.
Oh, so I play a character, a small tabaxi bard, because from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, now a lot of races let you choose whether you're small or medium. Tabaxi is one of them, so I'm the small tabaxi bard, Soaks Midnight, who, not gonna lie, I stole a lot of inspiration from Puss in Boots. But I play on this small to ride. We are all small races, so it's me. We have a goblin fighter, a kobold artificer, and a fairy barbarian, which is fantastic. Twinkle Large Spoon, who is horrifying. She is terrifying in the matches. I think she dealt the total value of damage that all other players on both teams did. We have a fairy barbarian that matched that number just last week.
Damn.
It was insane. She scored so many points. And that's big. Also over on Rep RPG. And I think she's also the Pearl of the Swamp on Twitch for her own channel. It is a lot of fun. We are playing again this Saturday, 7 o'clock Eastern time. I will not be joining. Unfortunately, I have friends in town, one of which is getting married soon, and so I have best man duties that I've got to keep up with. But still go cheer on this small to ride. It's a lot of fun, and it's always good to support Rep RPG. They're huge friends of the show. We like to shout them out when we can. And I think that's it for announcements, right? We've got...
The only other thing I was going to say is if you don't know, we do stream on Thursdays as well. We usually just play a random game. It's been 7 Days to Die recently, but definitely stop in for those. They're a good time. If you haven't seen the last stream on Thursday, check out. There's a clip. It's hilarious. Some mods with the gun sounds pretty great. So
results from the chat being able to vote on what happens in game, which is horrifying because it just follows me around because I'm the one that's hosting the server. So it just spawns zombies on me.
And we prefer it that way.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you do. Cool. Back to our actual campaign. Last week, you all dealt with, to a temporary extent, Yashta's zombie-esque curse that was placed on her by the mysterious figure in the abandoned mansion. Talked with Victorine, who helped and then paid you for your work, but her assistance with Yashta came with a vague price, a message to be delivered to your proprietor, Sparrow, that she is aware of what he and Balin have planned and she wants in. That not everyone, no matter how wealthy they appear to be, are content being reigned over by those in the higher tiers of the Spire of Avarice. You left Victorine's shop on your way back to Sparrow. You made a small detour to the Coliseum of Avarice, an upcoming tournament that you wish to throw your names in the ring. I told you can't simply sign up. You have to participate in the preliminary trials in about a week and a half to earn your spot in the grand tournament itself. Some interactions with Garth, pretty, I like to think, friendly orc who is manning the front desk of the Coliseum. Gave you the details. You signed your lives away. I mean, you signed a boilerplate liability waiver, and made your way back. We ended as you arrived at Sparrow's, getting late into the evening after crossing the majority of the city of Avarice by Sandskimmer, with no other, I think, major events following you. No fiery, burning explosions on your drive. And it is as the party pulls up to Sparrows that we are going to resume our game.
About roughly
The
what time is
lights.
it?
Well, it's probably about 9:30 at night. That's the sky is dark, but the city is still bright. The neon signs and lights, constantly moving advertisements that flicker overhead in the city. The circle of the Taros tier of Avarice above you, with bright lights kind of shining down like a mid-evening moon, similar to moonlight, as the bright lights of the city above the city shine down on you. Disembark. Sparrow Shop is still open, given its multi-utilitarian clientele. It has late hours, as you're familiar with. Yoshida steps from the back, and she's like, I'm tired. I'm a little worried about Lady Featherweight. I think I'm just gonna go to bed for now, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Still seeming kind of concerned and shook up over the events of the last day.
Is it the recorder? I can give it back. Like it's just that the bagpipe's real loud when we're trying to drive down the road. You know.
That's I'll trade you for it. And she reaches into her pocket and pulls out an egg.
Yeah, fine. And I'll trade her the recorder for an egg.
She's great. I'll get a little bit of practice in before going to bed. And she hooks the recorder back up to the bagpipes. Walks instead of into the front door, she walks into the workshop, and you hear the lullaby-esque harmonics of the bagpipe tooting away as she goes into the workshop.
I was really hoping for an impression.
Nope. My impressions have not been up to snuff recently. I'm not going to try.
The chickens are on
bagpipes when I
par.
can't
Good.
Yeah, the chickens. Well, chickens have a very specific sound in the city of Avarice.
Oh, Crest, damn it! I don't know why I gave it back to her.
Like,
I let her have this one.
Yeah.
She's had a rough fight.
So who's going to talk to Balin about what Lastmorn said?
Well, do we want to talk to
Vanilla, you
Balin
mean
or
Sparrow?
Sparrow first?
Sparrow.
Or sorry, that's what I meant to say. It's a long walk to Balin's.
I mean, Avrin, you're pretty close with him, right?
I can speak with him.
should somebody go with him?
Well, you guys don't trust Avrin?
I think that Avron will be able to relate facts very well, but he was not privy to everything that happened, right? So maybe we should have several of us.
As a group, then.
Yes.
Onward.
Into Sparrow's shop you go. He
This
is
very inefficient.
he is set behind the front counter. Just kind of, he's spinning a ring just in front of him on the glass counter. Welcome to. Yes, you're back. What's the word? Any news?
We have a bit of news. Yoshita's going to die.
Is that sound? Is she dying in the back of your skimmer?
No, she's playing her bagpipes.
That's
but
her funeral music.
we do have something we should probably talk about with that, but Avern, go and continue.
I do plan to examine her corpse to make sure it doesn't happen to anybody else.
I think you're getting ahead of yourself. Just a touch.
Let's start from the beginning. So,
You know what?
you sent us?
Yeah. Angelle, why don't you take this?
Really quick, Avarin, she does not mean start from the beginning. We do not need a fuller account of events as to your recollection. Let's start from maybe when you left the shop. But be really careful with terms like let's start at the beginning with him. Last time it took 32 hours to get him to shut up.
Well, as it happened, we left the shop at 7:32, and we traveled at approximately
Another
50
addendum, perhaps. A brief summary of events happening post shop leaving.
Maybe, Avern, would you like to add in facts as we go?
Sure.
So we left the shop, and then
At 7:52.
Yes, and we went to Victorine's and met
Arrived
with
at 9:53.
her. We spoke with Victorine, and she requested us to check out a abandoned mansion. And in that mansion, we found zombies. And the creator of zombies that decided to infect Yoshita. These zombies are a lot of the people that have been missing in town.
Right, so Avarin might have been onto something. Is it a concern if Yoshita's making that horrible wailing? Which I should say, as a DM, this is me shitting on bagpipes. Yoshita is actually very skilled at playing them.
They're just bagpipes.
Behind
It's
the
just
screen
bagpipes.
a little bit. It's bagpipes at 9:30 at night. That's okay. Is it a
Maybe.
concern if she's going to turn like the others? Should we? He reaches beneath the counter and he pulls out it looks like a metal rod with a large gemstone affixed to the side and a trigger underneath.
No. We don't. We're not there yet. We'll take care of it.
She was given a tattoo to prevent instant death.
Yes,
It all comes in later in the story. Angel?
Okay, class. First, there was a bit of an agreement. How many of these undead did you deal with? I think I promised you 50 gold per.
Here you go. And I hand him the Polaroids.
That's it's so lifelike. I don't know really what it is you did.
They were people.
They were. Okay. And he sets it down. That was 11 of them, it looked like. He opens up the register next to him and kind of starts going through. Pulls out a stack of platinum coins. He goes, that should be about half. That's 250. I'm going to have to get...
250 platinum or
gold's worth of platinum. Sorry,
Okay.
that's
Okay,
kind
I was
25
like,
platinum. I don't keep that kind of money just laying around in the register. I get people die for less than this that I've got, and that's
I mean,
really reputation that keeps me standing. That's there's a time delay on the safe. That's once it's open, I'll get you the other half. But for now, that is 25 platinum. I owe you another 260 gold's worth. Plus a little bit extra for hazard pay, we'll call it.
41 gold, 6 silver, 6 copper. one of us will end up with an additional copper.
I'm not breaking the platinum and gold into like silvers and coppers, so you're gonna have to estimate it to the nearest gold piece.
We'll work
Or
it
do
out.
you throw out the extra?
Yeah, is there more to this story? Did you also deal with the creator? Is this kind of a problem solved?
Yes.
Slap a pin in it.
No. No, he unfortunately escaped. And we have after he escaped and we got Yoshida, realized she was infected, we went back to Victorine's to see if we could find some solution. She gave the tattoo, and Victorine wanted to pass on a message. What was that? What did she say?
I'll look around and see if there's anybody in the shop.
No, does not appear to be. It's pretty late.
I'll get a little closer and she says she knows what you and Balin are up to, and she wants in.
Cock's head to the side. Make an insight check. Anybody that's honestly just from his immediate reaction.
And then also, just want to point out there, I'm a dumb and divided by 6, thinking DM. It's not that. It's actually 6.25 if we're going by platinum.
I got 22.
22. There is just anybody. If anybody else rolled, anybody that got over 18 sees this. Just flashing across his face is concern, a little bit of anger, but it is quickly covered up. Let's see. Right, well, that's something else. I know she's been looking to expand as she works and selling magical wares, Balin's out of fishery, and me supplying him with resources. I'm sure she's just looking at getting involved. We've got a bit of a venture coming up.
Yes, with
With the
the solar things, right?
Yes,
The
that's
solar battery
right.
things or whatever, the astrological something.
Yeah, he's got a theory that the stars and their alignment at different times and performing certain enchantments depending on the kind of how they're lined up.
Did not
Could-
take her as much of an astrology fan, but you know, tweet
It's
fellow.
if she's interested in that's I can get a proposition to her, see if she wants to buy in a percentage as an investor. Be great. Sai with a 22. This is him just bullshitting off the top of his head. But
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but why would she be interested? She didn't seem to think that you guys were as close as you said.
well, closeness is, I think, all relative. That's Victory. She can smell out, I think, a business opportunity from a city away. I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's weird that she, like, that sounds really under the table, very, what's the word, spycrafty. The way she had you see it, she has an air of mystery that she likes to maintain. I'm sure you got that. She can be a bit stuffy.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
I do have Domen, Angelle, if the two of you have a moment, I would like to have a word with you. If these do.
Goodbye.
Oh, we get to speak.
Yeah, but-
Yeah.
No, just goodbye.
I immediately walk over to the sand skimmer and start bringing it into the shop.
Okay. Sai, where do you go?
I'll do the. What movie is that from? Where he's just like has his jacket, looking around, not sure what to do.
John Travolta.
John Travolta,
John
like-
Travolta, like,
What are we doing?
Sai, would you or perhaps maybe convince Yoshida to just play her lead and not the whole bagpipe in case somebody's looking for a bagpiper right now?
yeah, I'll go talk to her.
Thanks.
Right. About what we discussed, I have a contact that like you, David, you can hear that. I've got a contact that might have information related to what you brought to me.
Name?
His name is Rathmus. He's going to be difficult to speak to. He resides in Asthenos, so tier below. He's one of the deep dwellers. My recommendation, if you go to see him, I can tell you where to find him. Bring a gift, show respect. He's a family man. He's a member of one of the gangs. And the gangs that start operating once you get below don't have fancy names like those here on Terrace, Lost Sands, Iron Serpents, Street Wraiths. They don't need them. They don't operate through fear behind a name, but just a reputation. You speak to Rathmus. Apparently, there was a group of nomads, a small group, worse for wear from something they encountered. And they were taken in, I should say. That's as much as I was able to find out, but Rathmus is going to be your man if you're going to find more information.
Taken in as in taken in, or genuinely taken in?
It's a combination. That's a lot of times people coming in that were, in a bad way. They don't have anyone to go to, can get quickly indebted to some of the families beneath. If they owe money, weren't able to pay, they're expected to work it off. And if they can't work it off, they become product themselves.
Rathmus, you said he's a member. Is he the day of my daughter's wedding type member, or is he? What are we talking about?
Similar. He's not particularly high up. He's more of a intermediary that works for the different groups. He would have been one of the first points of contact that he takes people in. He's your loan shark.
What sort of gift?
Something that just shows up.
Probably.
That even just money would be good. Just don't show up empty-handed. There's not really a tradition as what you bring. It's more just you don't show up and ask for something without something to trade.
How much would be an insult versus how much would be useful in gaining information?
Maybe we
If you
just
go
err
with
on the side
money-
of caution.
Yeah,
Give
I
them
don't see
more
the
than-
caution. If you show up
thought-
with money, anything less than 50 gold cash is just going to be an insult. That wouldn't even get you in the door.
Okay.
Here's his location, and he slides you a piece of paper across the desk. He goes, I can't guarantee he's going to have anything, but he's going to be your closest point. Sorry I didn't have more. I don't have any certain answers. But
It's a great
something.
start, and at least you're not telling me I have to off and on mob boss. That wasn't fun last time, and it wouldn't be this time.
yeah, that's it. I said you last time. Yeah.
So it was really good talking to you. The sand skimmer probably needs to be taken care of, and Avern's working on it, but I'd like to get my hands on that too.
Of course, and welcome to anything you need. I'll get in touch with Victorine. Thank you for delivering the message.
One last thing you should be aware of is there may have been an incident in town. You know nothing about a building getting blown up.
You've
Yes.
heard no
That
bagpipes.
That wasn't you lot, was it?
No, we're innocent.
If anyone comes sniffing around, I'll try to keep him off your tail. But, Christ, you lot get into trouble.
It's just the police around here are just so stuffy.
Well, it's kind of their job to keep order, and that's if you don't want the guard around, that's pal around in the slums. That's pretty much what it's there for.
Well, we might be going a little farther down than that.
Yeah, you won't have too much of an issue doing in a Stennis either. Right. Let me know if you need anything else. I expect to hear your story later on, Domen, but we'll
Sure.
get around to that. Have a good night. And
As soon as they walk out of the room, Angelle's gonna turn to Domen and say, "Let's go right now, tonight."
Gonna have a hard time, just the two of us.
Do you think?
It
I think that we are
sounds
strong enough.
we're a full gang. We're not talking about 5 or 6 nomads on a raiding run here. We're talking about, what are we, tens, maybe hundreds of people? And there's 2 of us. And this isn't something we want to fuck up. This isn't just artifacts and a haul.
Just. Well, then, what do you think we should do?
Talk. Let's talk first. And we're part of a group now. We have help. Who knows? Maybe we can convince 1 or 2 of them along.
There's a fair point.
Maybe we at least hide Yoshita's bagpipes before we go.
Good plan. So, then we're gonna walk over to the bedroom and find Yoshita. And steal her bagpipes.
I think we're going tonight, hon.
Why not?
Or you're going to convince everyone else to go this evening.
We could at least ask.
Let's let everybody get a night's sleep and we'll ask them when they're well rested in the morning.
Fine. Mr. Patience over here.
Want to do it right.
is there anything else any of you want to accomplish tonight, or do, or work on?
Just hiding the bagpipes.
You said that my order was like 2 to 3 hours away?
Yeah, if that, like
Okay.
2 to 3 hours, like during the busy time when it's kind of difficult to get through the streets. Hour and a half, 2 hours away this time of the evening.
No, I'll be good.
Everin?
Well, if y'all end up coming down, I know Domen said he was gonna go help with the sand skimmer. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, what am I doing? I'm getting so many noises. What the heck? Sorry. So as he comes down, I would say like a quarter to half of the metal outskirts of the sand skimmer are on the floor. And he is working on some of the internals at the moment.
Well, you just sure make quick work, Avi. And I'll pick up, like, I guess, a fender. It's all going back on, right?
Yes. Well, maybe not in the same spot.
This
You
one
are
should probably...
attempting to conceal it, correct?
That would work, yeah.
Well, then we are looking to move the propulsion system slightly forward or backward to change the entire look of the vehicle. And of course, paint.
Sure. The fender's going on in the front, though, right?
I mean, we could place it in the middle, but I don't think it would handle very well.
You know what? I'm going to let you handle it. Just tell me what you need me to do.
Okay, take the propulsion system that I've taken apart, I'm about to take apart, and place it in an order of which I will put it back together.
You have an instruction manual or
Just pay attention to how I take it apart and put it in reverse order.
sure. You may have to walk me through it.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and make. I need a. Let's go an intelligence check from both of you.
Wolf.
Was not a great roll.
Oh
Same
no.
I mean, it's not a
If it-
terrible
if
roll,
it
but
helps,
it's not a
David.
good roll.
This is not a check for if Avrin is able to successfully take it apart. I'm assuming that goes fine.
Okay, well,
It's the putting it back
6.
together we're worried about. Ooh, how did I do better at 9?
I rolled a 2.
Okay. Avrin, you disassemble it and go back to just whatever it is you're working on next. And Domen, I think you put it back together just fine.
So
I have
to be clear, I wasn't having him put it back together. I was having him place it
Oh,
on
yeah,
the ground in a.
yeah, in order,
particular
you line it up
Okay.
just fine. You think? Avrin, a quick glance. Yeah, that's about the same order.
Okay.
I have 2 extra hoses. I'll just put them over here. You got it. Probably fine.
It's probably fine.
To be fair, I have keen mind,
Needs-
so I should remember exactly how it goes back together.
Who needs
Once you get to
radiator
put
hoses?
it back together, we'll see. It is just the order in which he laid it all out. You're distracted is more what it is currently.
I actually could be. At some point, he would like to go talk to Sparrow. After getting to a point where it would be okay to potentially stop for at least a little while.
Yeah, we'll
Draining
say,
the coolant or something.
yeah, you get to the point that's you set Domen to polishing some of the gems, some of the crystals, getting rid of some of the buildup just from the day. You're able to go meet up with Sparrow, no problem.
Okay. Sparrow,
Hey, what's up, hubby?
I was actually interested in some of Balin told me to come talk to you about potential history related items.
Yeah, we get a few books and such. Is there anything in particular you're interested in?
Something not necessarily found within regular text.
As in, Avi, you're not talking to me about gods, are you?
Yes.
I've asked this before. I've just got to. You're not a cop, right? You have to tell me if you are. I'm pretty sure it's part of the deal.
I do not, in my programming, have installed a law enforcement program.
Are you capable of lying about something like that?
No.
Are you capable of lying about that?
Yes.
That's, I guess, good enough for me. Come on. Back room. He goes off to one of the side doors, kind of opens it up, looks around, gestures you in. This is a door you have not been through. To your knowledge, it was just a closet. You haven't seen Sparrow go into it before, or anybody going in. And it is just a storage closet. And he shuts the door behind you. He's kind of turning his face so he's not just in your crotch. As the two of you kind of pile into this tiny room, he said, it reaches kind of around you, trying to reach the wall. Bats his head and he goes, Avi, could you that hammer in the wall? If you could just lift it up, and the floor drops out from beneath you.
Featherfall.
Like your feet are still on it. The floor is just moving very quickly.
Okay.
It drops.
Okay. Gotcha.
About 15.
Actually, I don't even think I have
so,
that prepared, so maybe I wouldn't be able to do that.
And stops. A couple lights turn on in a large warehouse. There's some working tables, bookshelves lining the wall. Avi, are you sure you want to look at this stuff?
Yes.
All right. Gods and treatises. That's going to be, it's 0.1 point. Right, over here. He walks over and leads you to a section of books. Old tomes, easily 150, 200 older, just based on a quick look at just the degradation of the spines of the books and the pages. Any particular god you're interested in?
Well,
make a perception check.
My dice has not been very nice. But I have it, or not advantage, but I have whatever in perception. 13.
13. The biggest
Efficiency.
thing that jumps out
That word.
is there are a number of texts, but you pick out the names of several gods. Skjoder.
Oh fuck! You're gonna. I don't have anything to write
I'll
this
have it.
down.
We already-
Son of a bitch.
We have these. We have some of these notes that I can share with you guys. If you don't already have them saved somewhere. Leora. Finri.
Hey.
Crest. Oral. Durin. And List.
Those are all spelt wrong, but you know what? Whatever.
Each name showing up at least once. Some showing up multiple times. With the 13, you can see there's a decent bit of dust built up on a lot of these. The ones that, dust marks kind of on the bookshelf itself, where it looks like books have been pulled out. Crest. Any mentions of crest that you see look like they've been moved much more recently. And then if you're talking histories from the desolations, not much. First is in terms of first-hand accounts, but here's some of the, current curriculums, and he points at the shelf just kind of next to the one about the different deities.
Sparrow, have I ever mentioned to you? Well, I guess it's more of a DM question because I would remember. Have I ever mentioned to Sparrow about my my difference in my own memory versus the history
I think
books?
that's entirely up to you. Is that something you would have brought up to him?
Probably not. I would say it was more of a recent discovery than anything else. So, I will go through and explain to him just a real quick reiteration of how I remember, or how my programming has a history written different than what it actually is. So basically, as opposed to people, it was armies, and I forget some of the other stuff, but yeah.
And this is stuff that you're programmed with, that you're familiar with.
Yes.
That directly contradicts what the church has been telling us. And he pulls out, from under one of the inner pockets of his jacket, he pulls out and begins just kind of writing down a couple things. He goes, this is enough to really, if we can prove this, if we can prove that the Church of Christ is lying to us, find a reason. And he starts writing out. He goes, this whole city could change. You get kind of just a look, unbridled, like this glint in his eye. We could turn Avarice on its head. Thank you, Avi. I appreciate this. Takes it. You're welcome to peruse the books to your heart's content.
Yeah.
Don't tell your friends about this room yet. I'm not sure about all of them. But you, and he taps you on it, tink, 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 and taps a nail on the front of your chest. You have changed everything.
It's immediately going to turn to the books and start looking through.
Sparrow goes back to the lift. Button's right there to call it when you're done. Enjoy yourself, Avi. Hits a button on the lift itself, and it lifts back up, leaving you in this warehouse.
Okay. I think specifically something that he would look for is obviously the books that he's already seen, the gods, but more specifically, more of like a historical timeline. If I can maybe try to build something there.
Okay. Let's go ahead and make a history check.
Okay. Oh, not 20. Let's go.
Nice.
Natural 20. Okay.
27, I believe. My thing moved. 27.
So there are a few things that you find. Tellings of a war from before the Desolations. This would have been a while before. The 6 gods becoming the 7. A champion of List rising up and breaking her free of the Pact Sworn. A battle between the 6 and the remaining 2 of the Pact Sworn gods, these dark gods of hunger and monsters, weakening the gods. But in the end, being victorious over these dark deities. Less so something that, with a natural 20, something you find in the books, but reading through, things begin to click into place as files in your programming are restored by familiar data being entered and allowing, we'll say, a scrub. You're cleaning out bad data and putting things together.
Verifying
With
files, basically.
Verifying files. Yep.
Yeah.
Verifying files. There were powerful individuals amongst the mortal races that saw an opportunity in the 6, now the 7, being weakened from their battle with the Pact Sworn, and rose up, seeking to become gods themselves. They promised the kings of the different lands of the Felden Waith, of Ostromnir and Nalbrand power in return for assistance. Not all, but many, fell behind these heroes to assist them in overthrowing the gods. You remember weapons being made to assist in this fight. You remember working on these weapons. And then you remember an explosion. And then you remember waking up in Avarice. Or outside Avarice. Or wherever it was you woke up before coming here. Pieces begin to click. And do you think, given enough time, more of your memories can be recovered? What else? Everybody else doing? That's Domen, you've been left alone. That's
Someone's just
ever.
taking the piece by piece that he's got taken apart, and he's just like prestidigitating dust and grime off the top of it because you sure as shit not going to try and put it back together and screw up the whole thing.
Everin, how long? Much longer do you spend in the library?
I imagine it wouldn't take me too long to read a book. But
A little bit. That's
it
scanning
would.
through.
I
a
was
few
gonna
books.
say, yeah.
You spend at least an hour.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Honestly, I would say probably somewhere in the vicinity of. I mean, verifying files takes a minute, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say at least 2 hours.
I'll
Okay.
catch Size here
Domen?
if he comes into the workshop, but if he doesn't, I'm just gonna clean and polish.
Angelle was gonna talk to Sai too if she runs into him. So
Sai was
whichever
just
one
gonna
of the two of
be-
us.
Yeah, so I was just going to be up in the bedroom. So whoever comes back there, he's just taking his dart and throwing it into the wall. Just over and over again.
All right, I guess that's probably Angelle then. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Angelle's gonna come in and walk up to Sai and attempt to snag the dart out of the air that he throws. Just.
All right.
What kind of a check do I need to make to do that?
Well, it's not an attack at you. That's it. Oh man,
I'm not
it's hard
trying
when
to-
there's an
it's
actual
not an
ability
attack,
that
it's just-
says you can. Yeah, no, it's hard when there's like actual like abilities that let you catch projectiles. Give me a dexterity save, not saving throw, but a dexterity check. Just dexterity. And
It's really bad.
how bad?
I rolled a 2. Where is my dexterity?
Okay.
So that's a 4.
You just miss. It does not get stuck in your hand. You don't stick your hand in front of it to catch it. That's, you just
Behind it.
miss. Just whiff.
This is quite a quick throw.
Yeah, I don't recommend putting your hand in the way.
I'm good at catching these. Usually.
I can see that. How can I help you, Angel?
I wanted to ask you, you've been in the city for a long time, yes?
Yes, and I walk up and pry the dart out and walk back and continue that process.
How much do you know of the lower levels?
I mean, they're not the greatest of places. I try not to go down there too often.
But you've been there?
Once or twice, but let's keep that between us.
But, if one were to go, what would you recommend would be good knowledge to have before going?
Everything that we have done so far while traveling through the city, we should not do.
So, no sand skimmer?
Keeping a little lower profile. It's not a place you really want to be seen.
So be sneaky.
Just subtle, yeah.
What kind of dangers should I look out for?
I mean, anything you can imagine. It's not the cleanest of places. You thought, I don't know if you thought that when we saw Balin was sketchy, but that's nothing compared to the lower level. It's watch your back at all times. Why are you thinking about going down there?
I want to be prepared. I feel like if there are dark things happening, we should be prepared, and there may be reason to go down there in the near future.
Insight check.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and
25.
you beat me. I got a 3. Totally lying. She definitely is going down, and there's definitely a reason behind it. Just not ready to tell you.
I'll just nod and say, we all have our secrets.
No
Just be careful.
secrets.
It's
No.
Yeah. You're right. No secrets. Just be careful. I know you think you're tough, but there's some things down there that aren't for individuals.
What were you down there for?
Stuff.
I see, being very cryptic.
I learned from somebody I recently met.
Who could that be?
I'll just keep throwing.
The, would you ever go back if somebody needed help?
Depends on who needs the help and what the mission was.
Well, get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, you
should
too.
be fresh in the morning.
Yeah. Looks like Yosta passed out, so hopefully she's all right.
Did you hide her bagpipes?
You know, she's actually really good at them.
Yeah.
Yes,
Go ahead and make a perception check now that you're both paying attention to Yashta.
Uh-oh.
23.
10.
23.
I'm rolling
10.
fucking good right now.
All right, Sai. Yoshida curled up with the blankets kind of pulled over her. Does not seem to be breathing.
Okay, maybe she's not okay? Yoshida.
No response.
Yoshita?
Gonna
Fucking
walk over
killing
there.
a character that's not even here.
I'm gonna walk over and nudge her, like pretty jolting.
You push, and she kind of falls apart underneath your hand as the pillows stacked up underneath the blankets fold over and kind of fall apart out of their half-elven shape.
I can't believe I did not recognize this.
God damn it.
You pull the blanket back and kind of crumpled up between some of the blankets. There's a letter,
I'll pick it up
a
and
note.
read it.
It opens up. It's very short. It just says, "Hey, I'll be right back. Realized that my spell doesn't bring Lady Featherweight back to me. Went to go pick her up. I'll be back soon. Don't wait up."
Son of a bitch. She. I mean, there's no way we
Sorry,
could find
y'all
her.
thought I would really kill Yashta.
No. There's-
She's- You know, at her age, it's just best to let them go and do their thing when they want to sneak away, and they'll come back. At her age, as if she's not like actually the same age as me.
I think she's
We're
my
pretty
age.
close.
I don't know how old you are, but and I'll just kind of take a slight offense to it. What do you? Her age, like
Yes,
we're fine. We're not
I
irresponsible.
mean, just no, but she's just the adolescence stage. You know what I mean? Like the teens, they're dramatic.
We're not. Okay, and I'm gonna tell Domen and Avern that she's gone. Good luck with the not having a secret thing. And I'm gonna walk off and go try to find Domen.
Domen is
Easy enough to
down
do.
in the workshop still. He's now got a crystal and is just like, press to digitate, turn, press to digitate. He just got like this dead in the eyes look, press to digitate, Press the digits.
Domen.
Yeah. What's up?
And I'll hold up the letter. Yosta surprised us again. She's gone.
Thought it was kind of quiet around here.
Yeah, well, I mean, I helped stop the bagpipes, but she snuck out. Apparently, Lady Featherweight is very important to her, and she realized that she doesn't know where to go back to. So she's on a mission to go find her.
Well, if it's important to her, and I don't know where she's gonna get eggs otherwise. She used the old pillows underneath the comforter trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Mav used to do that one all the time.
Who?
Oh, Mav's is our son.
Oh, you have a kid?
Two of them actually. Mav and
Wow.
Lair.
Wow, how old are they?
I know. You can't tell. I'm.
Yeah, I mean,
look
you're
young myself.
spry and full of
Spitting
life.
image of youth, really. They're 17, both of them.
Oh, that's like close to me.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm 18.
Well, lad.
Oh,
And if he's
Jesus.
close enough, I'll just like ruffle his ears.
I see. So you're not concerned at all with?
Why? They're 17. What's there to be concerned about?
No.
Oh,
with
you mean
Yosta.
Yosta?
Yeah.
No.
I assumed you knew where your kids were.
Yeah, well, that's why I was asking. Can't figure out why you're giving me parenting advice. No, Yosta, she's a big girl with a chicken. She'll figure it out, I'm sure.
All right. Well, you guys are
Noticed
the
you
adults, so
put that in air quotes, and don't you associate me with those people. Young and spry, remember, young and spry.
right.
Noticed you changed your duds there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm from the lower area. You know, I don't know how much you know about the city, but people don't take too kindly to the people from the lower tiers. Just wanted to kind of fit in a little bit.
I was trying to blend.
Yeah.
Know that feeling. People really don't take kindly to anything they don't know. Nomads, people from the lower tiers, anything they don't know.
Yeah. It's
Sure, you're not running from anybody, are you?
no. Why would I be running from someone?
More than one reason to want to blend in.
No, just don't like being talked down to.
I get that. Speaking of the lower tiers, you ever met anybody by the name of Rathmus? Apparently he's a big name.
DM, I don't know if I would have.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Hope not.
No, it doesn't ring a bell. Who is it?
Just a gent that I should talk to.
Gotcha. Is everything all right? Angelle just asked me about the lower tiers too.
Did she?
Yeah, she was like,
And her.
"Is there anything I would need to look out for? Have you ever been there?" Like, why would anybody want to go down there?
We're tourists. Want to see the whole city.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm from this area, and it's not much higher than that, but there's not many great places to go down there.
Sure. You want to see it all. If you're going to come, you're going to do it all. At least that's what we're going to do.
Oh, you are gonna do it?
At some point, I imagine.
Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told her. Be careful. It's not a place you want to be seen, so I don't recommend any racing. We'll just put it that way.
Maybe we won't go then.
Yeah, I didn't think low profile was something you guys were fans of.
Not terrifically, and I'll hold out my arms and prestidigitate light through all of my tattoos. It's not really our style.
Yeah. What are you doing down here?
That's a great question. Where the hell am I? Avi, where are you? Supposed to be helping Avi with Vess.
In light of our theme of convenience, it's about the
Convenient.
time that
I was just gonna say, how convenient! I randomly show up right then.
Oh, there he is.
My apologies.
It's well, it's all clean.
Perfect.
it is spotless. 2 hours of prestidigitation, and like there are things you will have to re-oil because they have been like just
You
it,
probably shouldn't have done it to that piece there. That one is supposed to move if you clean off all of the grease and oil. It doesn't move anymore.
They really should
Not
come
freely.
with an instruction manual, or at least somebody who's telling me what the hell to do.
That's okay. We can re-grease and re-oil. It might not be a terrible idea to redo those anyway.
Right? See, I knew what I was doing the whole time.
It'll just take twice the time.
Sure. Fuck.
we'll say, is there anything else anybody wanted to cover this evening? That's say put a little bit more time into the skimmer.
At some point, Avrin is going to pipe up. Where's Yoshida?
Oh, sorry, I didn't bring it up. These guys didn't seem to think it was a big deal. She went to go find Lady Featherweight
Oh,
by herself.
okay.
You know, she's going through things. She just needs to deal with them. I'm sure she just needed her space.
Jesus,
She's
am I
just
the
gotta
only
find a
one that
chicken.
cares?
What are we? She's just got to find a chicken. What's the big deal?
She
Wait,
just got attacked.
Yes, but she
And-
has a tattoo to protect her.
And at least as far as I'm aware, wasn't attacked at once before in her entire life, before she found us. So, common
Boy.
theme there, Si.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna go to bed and just try not to think about this. And the last thing I do is
I feel
just
like
throw-
if we were watching this as a movie, as you guys are talking on one of the TVs in the background, that none of you notice, there is like a breaking news report with Yashta and just some other random people like with her running down streets, like being pursued in some crazy like side story that's going on.
As Si leaves the room, Domen's just slathering up something with oil. It's a fucking chicken. What problems could she get into?
Oh,
She's
careful.
fine.
Not
She's
too
fine.
much.
Right, sorry. We'll flick it off.
And just for some flair, when Sai gets back up to the bedroom where he's been throwing darts, there are 5 specific spots that he's been throwing the dart that look like a hand. And the last thing he did was threw the dart and it's sticking right in the middle of those dots.
That's
Dope.
And as you lay in your bed, you feel a crack underneath you, and an egg is now broken in your bed.
Yep. We'll say it. As you finally lay down, your head hits the pillow, and just underneath the pillow, you hear.
Not gonna worry about it. Not gonna worry.
It's just gonna sleep. It'll make my hair shine great. My fur.
Canon.
You all finishing up for the evening. We'll say you get the sand skimmer back into working order. And yeah, short enough time with the two of you working on it. Everyone goes to bed. Oh, what's up, Rachel?
Sorry, can we take like a 3-minute break? I think my dog needs water.
Yeah, that's just fine. We're going to take a short break. We will be back Let's make it 8 minutes. We'll be back at 6:30 Standard Time, Mountain Standard Time. We
Thanks.
can water ourselves as well. Be back in just a minute.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Welcome back to Easy to Spell. Fucking David. Or the name's easy to spell, and we did it wrong anyways. That one took me a second to process fully what just happened. So, I apologize. I'm the Dungeon Master Andrew Day, and joining me, as always, our fabulous cast of, I'm gonna say, heroes. Starting with,
Wait, we're
Oh, do it
starting
again.
again?
Oh, yeah.
introduce yourselves.
Just
Anybody
do
joining
the-
us at the
do
head?
the thing.
Okay.
Okay, I'm Will, and I'm playing Dominique.
Oh,
somebody
I'm
go.
Rachel, and I'm playing
There you
Angelle.
And I'm David bringing up the rear. Let's go. Let's get back into this playing Everett.
We've had some big ass lore dumps. It's a bunch of stuff going on. It's a lot of fun. I think we're just going to dive right back in as the party wakes up. You are all relatively well rested, if not grease and or egg covered. Yoshida has yet to return, but you have no reason to think that she'd be in any sort of trouble. As you all begin to set about your day, which one of you wakes up first? Who has something to do in the morning?
I'm going to start working on getting the sand skimmer a different color.
Okay, that's your work on that. That will be pretty quick, with
So all I plan on doing is with him prestidigitating it all, I basically kind of take it back to the steel and then just give it a cyan blue highlight along the edges.
very nice, looking pristine, a nice restored vintage sand skimmer, fresh out of the waste. Guess what is in the
90
workshop
degree,
here?
90 degree elbows.
So it'll be
Well-
pretty quick for you all to. We'll say you're able to reconvene in the workshop.
But
Some
before
point.
we do, Dom and Angelle in the room alone together. So, guess it's time to ask everybody, huh? See if we can't get a group together to go check this out.
How much do we say? How much do we want to? How much do we trust these people?
Not much, but what do we give away if we tell the whole story?
That's fair. I don't feel like they are part of this gang. So I think our biggest issue would just be, if they sorry, my brain just died. Rachel's brain, not Angel's.
Gonna
Rachel's
do that all the time.
Okay. I think our biggest issue would just be if they were part of this gang and knew that somebody was coming to find them if they were in trouble.
All the more reason to keep them close. I'm gonna bet you high 80% that Avi is not a member of any gang.
I think you're right on that.
And I mean, Sai says he's from the area, but I mean,
And as much as I hate to admit it, Sai is a pretty good fighter. He could have our backs. And he is sneaky.
yeah, he's an asset. So let's ask.
All right, let's do it.
Right.
So we go
We will.
down.
Go ahead.
Everybody hungry?
No.
Let's Avi, would you make us something?
Drop the tools and go and pick up a spatula and cook basic bitch shit. Well, actually, hold on. Oh, okay. Actually, no. It cooks above average shit.
Oh, nice, good. I think we have a request from the group.
Proposal, really.
Yes. We are while we're waiting for Yoshita, she knows to come back here. We will come back here and meet her. We don't know how long she's going to be gone. We came to the city looking for some people, and we think we may have found a way to find them. Would you all be willing to go to the Asthenosphere with us? Yes.
This is what you're talking about.
Yes, it was not a secret, it was just no.
Undecided at the
Right.
time.
Yes.
The long
I'd
and
rather
short
s-
of the whole story is that we're looking for a couple of people, and Sparrow's given us a tip that a tip could be with someone in the Asthenosphere. But we're new, and if there's any sort of confrontation or cultural difference we don't know about, it'd be nice to have somebody who's been there before. Well, really, as many hands on deck as we can.
Well, I don't want to go back, but I
You
don't
don't
want
have
you
to.
guys to go alone. So, I'm in.
Elfie?
Well, the sand skimmer has some unfinished work that I could potentially do on the way.
It's mobile though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Plus, it'd be a good test ride.
No, hold on. Oh yeah, it's mobile.
I can drive.
Yeah, let's. I'm gonna take it this time if that's all right, hon. It's the first time. I'd really like to get out and give it a spin
Fine.
next time.
Is
sure.
this paint suitable?
Sure.
I mean, we'll definitely have to repaint it when we go out to the waste, but this is great for the city.
Why would you have to repaint it for the wastes?
People would be able to see us from cities away.
Well,
We could put a
miles.
matte color scheme on it to where it would not shine.
Kind of matches
And
your
typically-
aesthetic, doesn't it, Evie? It's got the blue, which is great, but it
Yeah, slightly.
really stands out there on the sand. Really doesn't go with my skin tone.
Well, I mean, once you have it on the sand, after a day or two, it will be sand color.
You make a good point. Not really something we need to address right now.
But it looks great.
Yeah.
Spark.
Bark.
And Spark goes to up front, and a little spot opens, and a small seat is right there for him.
Now that I can get behind.
You're
You're
muted.
muted.
He hops up and sits into it, rotates, kind of screwing himself into the slot.
Where is
Fucking
that
foot ornament.
scroll?
Bark. Like his whole body like turns rotating into the slot,
His head
basically.
stays in the
While he's sitting?
same spot,
Yeah.
but his body twists.
Okay.
Exactly. Thank you. Sorry, I'm making sure I've got so I apologize. I was taking advantage of the fact that you guys were all talking.
No, that's all right. DM's got a lot to do. Well, if you're all in, and I mean, it's probably going to be days before Yoshita gets back anyway, right?
I will leave her a message, just in case.
It's a good idea.
And I go to where her cot was, and I will imbue a message. 6-second long recorded message. Actually, I take that back. It will be 25 words of text that will basically appear in a Star Wars fashion that will scroll.
Duh.
Love it.
Duh.
Love it.
But it's cyan blue, right? Not yellow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Cyan blue. Always. And it will be a very concise message that says, and this will probably be more words than what's allowed, but it will say, heading to the asthenosphere, checking for someone named the R word.
Rasmus.
Yep, that one. And if you are back before we are, stay here. I don't.
Okay.
I doubt
I'm gonna
that
need
would
you to
work.
say that all for me in 6 seconds.
It wasn't in 6 seconds. This is
Oh.
text.
25 words.
Oh, text. Okay. I'm like, I heard 6 seconds and then a lot.
Yep. And if I have to, I will do 2 of them.
No, you should be fine with the one to get that information across.
Like I said, just very concise, direct. But yeah, which section we're going to, how we're, yeah. Anyway, where we're headed in the general direction of.
Perfect. And you all head out. Assuming taking the sand skimmer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
With size direction, it's easy enough for you to make your way probably a good half hour, 45 minutes away to the nearest lift down. You show up. It's kind of a larger open building, very much looking like a bus terminal kind of area or a ferry landing. Lots of people kind of loading up vehicles and goods onto a large square platform. As you approach, you're kind of gestured into place by people, waving colored lights and telling everyone where to kind of go and park, packing as many people on as possible that are going until it reaches near capacity. You're there for probably a good 20 minutes waiting, surrounded by people, lots of hooded, covered people. You get looks of dark skin from either drow or gray dwarves, those that are coming in this morning before the sun's in full effect. A loud hiss and steam releases, and the entire platform begins to descend. Slowly. Stone rising up on all 4 sides of you as you descend further and further. And it gets darker. Some dim blue lights flash on along the edges so that you can kind of see where you're at. It is rightly titled Smooth Ride. I'm going to skip that just because it seems a little upbeat as you descend into the bowels of the earth. About 100 feet or so down, it finally opens up into a large cavern.
But before we get to the bottom, Domen is going to loudly exclaim, "Ah, shit. We forgot a gift." And he'll look around. And you said that there was like food and stuff that was loaded on as well, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can't like hodgepodge together a 5-finger discount gift basket.
Okay.
Maybe steal a honeyed ham and steal some ears of corn and just like hodgepodge them together into a nice gift basket, maybe a bottle of wine or something. I don't know what's on.
Okay. Yeah. Give me a sleight of hand check.
I will assist, so now you have
roll it with
advantage.
advantage.
Sweet. Not too shabby. 16 and 3, so a 19.
63 for 19. You get some goods together. You managed to pilfer a basket as the base of your gift basket, as well as some fruits, some cured meats, vegetables, a nice like charcuterie board, like a wooden board, and 2 bottles of what seemed like decent enough elven wine. Um,
And then we'll sprinkle in some of our gold. And Angel's gonna put like 20 gold in there.
Okay.
okay.
As
that'll
we're
pass.
writing down in this whole process, I just want to keep an eye out to see if anybody's drawn their eye towards us. Anybody seem like they're keeping an eye on us? Anything like
Yeah. Go ahead and make a perception check.
that? 14.
14. It doesn't seem as though anybody is paying any specific attention to you. A couple odd looks at Angelle as she awkwardly like bumps into people, and you kind of looking over, see Domen like kind of looking through the stuff. You don't see him take anything. You didn't roll high enough to see until the two of them make their way back, and Domen's holding a very large gift basket, and Angel's fastening a bow to the top of it and scattering some coins through it.
Sorry, I need a clarification before we go on. I never got a total amount on how much we got from.
The total is 550 gold pieces, half of which is platinum. So 25 platinum,
So
200.
So how much did I individually get?
50 gold a piece because I'm a dummy.
50 gold a piece. Okay. So then in that case, just 50 gold is what she puts in there because that's what he had said, not 20. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
50 gold through it.
What are you doing with that?
I was told that gifts are well received in this particular group of individuals. So let's not come empty-handed.
Gotcha.
Is that not something you're familiar with?
I don't like to become familiar with anybody that needs gifts, but I guess we're here, so.
And there was this wonderful lady who she was selling them on the other side, and we just figured it was a good choice.
Yeah.
Just like lean over and whisper in her ear. If he didn't ask, you don't need to lie about it.
People begin filing off of the platform into this very dimly lit space. Anyone without dark vision is at disadvantage for any perception checks.
Avi seems visually he's definitely acting different. A little more twitchy.
What?
Avi, are you all right?
My sensors do not enjoy the dark.
Is there like a location of them? Maybe I could help.
Well, optical, potentially. So here.
Angel's gonna look around and see if there's anybody with like glasses hanging on their clothing or anything.
Doesn't Averin have goggles?
Oh yeah. Right. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Good. No, go ahead.
He has goggles.
But you kind of. I mean, they're built onto his face. They're basically it's camera lenses. Is basically what it is.
Oh.
David has goggles.
Yeah.
He's being Everin. Anybody with glasses, just roll me a d20.
Okay. 15.
Yeah, there are a couple individuals that are either wearing glasses. There is one dark elf, a drow, who as the light finally like dims, takes off glasses and like tucks them into the front of his shirt, like hanging from his collar, and kind of lets out a sigh of relief and begins to like walk past you guys.
Okay, but nothing that's like on somebody's back or something. It's easy to get to.
As someone who wears glasses, I have never just casually tucked them into the side of my
That's
backpack.
That's fair. I've never worn them, so I don't know.
While
Okay,
she's looking around, Domen will like reach up around Avi's eyes and cast light, so he has like
That's
the
what I was gonna do.
oh, sorry.
I was gonna
So he
try
has
and
just
put
like
him
a
on
ring
glasses.
around his glasses or his goggles, his
Okay.
camera.
And as you get the inside of it. So as Abby blinks, the shutters on the outside actually shut off close off the lights for a moment. So he has two just headlights off of him that
That's what I was trying to prevent, to see if I could just like light the inside of glasses, but it's fine. So.
as Avern, as you kind of look around, that's we'll say this is enough to negate your disadvantage. But anybody, like, as you look at them, a couple people are like, what is wrong with you? Like, why do you think we're down here? As his lights get shown in their face.
Do we think, could you, and Angel's gonna pull off her scarf and like wrap it around his head and say, can you see? Can you see through
No.
this?
No, so you now are in darkness again.
This
It's like a see-through scarf.
perhaps we this
We'll say you can, but it's a disadvantage again because it just negates the benefit from.
well, it just so when you wrap it up, it just makes the light reflect off of the scarf and basically makes me blind.
Yeah, back into.
This does not seem to help. Pull it back down. I appreciate it.
The fucking nervous some people. Tourists. This is just
They're not
people
wrong.
muttering as they walk past you.
So you,
You still want the light, Avi?
Yes.
You make your way into the dark. This is the nicer part of the underbelly of avarice. There are still billboards and advertisements that are more dimly lit.
How long does that last? Sorry.
Oh, it's a great question.
I mean,
An hour.
Okay.
The people you see milling about, well above it was elves and halflings and dwarves and humans and kind of the more common fantastical races. Here it's Dwegar, Snibberfiblin, Drow, Minotaurs. Those races that prefer the deep, dark places of the world. A few stalls with vendors calling out with normal sounding goods until you get further and further away from this access point. It gets darker. Still dimly lit, not darkness, but the individuals in stalls, some of them remain hooded, and occasionally you see a tentacle kind of reach out and pull one of the edge of the cloak kind of back over the face. They have jars of what look like brains in some sort of solvent liquid floating at their stall. You're stopped by an individual, a thin elf, not a dark elf, but what appears to be a high elf. You don't look like you're looking for something, someone.
And
I can help
immediately
you.
Abby turns and just right in the face.
Right. Doesn't bother me as much as some of the other folks around here, but interest you guys in anything? God.
We have a location to Rathmus's.
Yeah, and you've been
Location,
making
right?
your way towards that.
Okay. I don't think so. I think we've got everything more or less taken care of.
Tourists, right? That's here. And he hands, Donnie reaches out and kind of takes your hand and goes, "It's on the house. Welcome to the Athenos." And he pushes a small bag into your hand, and you look, and it's kind of a deep purple crystalline powder. Yes. I'll see you around. He turns and just kind of walks off.
I remember them telling me about this in school.
Do I
Hope
know?
everybody down here is as friendly as that guy is.
Do I know in my minimal time down here what that is?
That is Wyvern's Breath. It is a popular drug recently that is synthesized of. You're not sure how or really what goes into it, but it's a synthetic drug. It is highly addictive.
As he gets out of earshot, I wouldn't do anything with that. I'd probably get rid of that.
That's narcotics, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we
That's-
could use it for barter, right?
I was gonna say that's basically currency. It looks like down here.
All right, just don't use it.
No, I not anymore. Not anything like that anymore.
Like we've ever tried this, but dabbled in our younger years. I'll like flip it around and catch it and pocket it into my pack.
You can add 1 dose of Wyvern's breath. Just write that down somewhere or add a custom item.
Wyverns? How do you spell that?
WYVERN, like a wyvern, a wyvern.
Yep.
Okay.
Because there's hooverns, wenverns, and wyverns.
I want to
You
meet the
forgot the-
Hooverns.
They're the Wutverns.
How about the Halverns?
Not a who, a what? A what? That's exactly. Moving along the streets until you get close to the address, there's a dwarf kind of leaning up against the door who eyes you. You got lost?
Look up at the building that he's standing in front of, and I don't think so. Actually, I think this is where we need to be. We're looking for a gentleman by the name of Rathmus. You know him?
I do. This way. And he opens the door. Kind of knocks twice and then opens it. Yes. Fresh meat. He's just in there.
I am not made of meat.
Close enough, lad.
Pleasure.
You're welcome.
And I'll
he
just
gives like kind of like an ostentatious like bow. Chuckles a little bit.
Very awkwardly, Averin will bow back in the same nature.
Boss is gonna like you, lot.
just slide by him first, I guess.
I'll go last.
Slidey.
You enter into a much more brightly lit room. A larger room. There's a couple tables. There is a human who is sitting kind of facing you, and he's kind of going over some papers. He has a sword leaning against the table next to him, and he goes through. Against the wall behind him, there's a bar, a small one, with a tall, red-skinned man wearing kind of a nice shirt, got a bar towel over his shoulder, cleaning some glasses facing away from you. And another human who you pass on your left, or not, this one's not a human, I apologize. The one at the table is a human, a dark elf to your left, who's kind of leaning, very similar to the dwarf you passed on the outside.
Okay, so
The human
human
who's
at the
at the
Sorry.
Human at the table.
Human at the table. At the
Drow
bar
at
is
the door. A red-skinned person. You can't see them, but it looks. If you had to guess, give me a perception check.
probably not great. 9.
9. You would guess tiefling. He's very similar skin tone to Domen. You see the tips of horns kind of popping up from where he's bent over, facing away from you. You'd guess tiefling. The human at the table looks up. You lot? Who are you?
We're just a group of tourists, as your doorman says, looking for a bit of information. Got a recommendation that you might have some. You Rathmus, by chance?
Oh, you're Rathmus. Rathmus? And the fellow at the bar turns. You lot have the name. Welcome. And not the tiefling, but the red-skinned Cambion turns.
Interesting.
His thin goatee, well kept, his black hair pushed back. And you see as he turns, the tail kind of flicks, and you see a glass spin and kind of come to a rest a few feet away. Yes. Would any of you care for a drink? Yes. Question.
What's a Cambion?
It is essentially the devil. If you look up the devil, that's a Cambion.
Oh, okay.
They are like your traditional image of a devil.
Okay.
The deep red skin, the wings, the tail.
Got it.
Would any of you care for a drink?
No.
Most people who come in here aren't aware of my name, so we kind of leave it to a little bit of theater. They don't ask for me, they don't get me.
Fair enough. We'd actually brought drinks for you, and I will pull out the gift basket and set it on the bar in front of him. Pull out and kind of give a little flourish to both of the bottles of wine and slap them down in front of him.
Pulls it out, pulls out one of the bottles and looks at it.
Gotta be honest, I'm not too familiar with either of those brand names. I hope they're to your satisfaction.
They'll do just fine. That's you are already several steps ahead of most people that come in, which means this will be interesting. He takes the basket and he pulls out one of the coins and kind of chuckles.
It's very
nice.
heavy.
It's a nice touch. Yeah, he sets it, and even though it's heavy, he moves it without any strain, and he sets it down. Yeah. So information, it's a specialty of mine. What are you looking for?
People. 2 of them, actually.
People are another specialty of mine. Any preference on the type of people?
2 specific individuals. They are twins. One looks similar to him, and one looks similar to me. Boy and girl.
He looks you up and down. Very deliberately, Angelle. You're a god's blood. You know, you could do very well for yourself in the right circles. God's bloods sell well. And you hear the door to the front shuts, and you look, and the drow is turning a key in the lock.
Thai grips his staff on his side, not like pulling it over, but he like reaches back and like grabs his staff.
How big's the room?
It's probably a good like 25 feet across, and you probably crossed about 15 feet of room to get there. So it's kind of a longer, a long and narrow room with the bar and the few tables and stuff. Currently with the 4 of you and 3 other individuals in here. The Cambion goes. And he looks at Domen now. I might happen to know something, and I appreciate the gift, but I have an idea of another trade, if you catch my meaning, and I think you do. And he looks back over at Angelle. Our kind of good at deals.
I believe that has been tried before with me, and it is not effective.
Sorry. I don't really speak with merchandise.
Well, then you can speak with me, and I'll tell you we're leaving here with an even number of people. That can be 6, or that can be 4. But it'll be even.
I didn't say I have them. I have information.
Sure.
Or are you
we'll
saying you're
with
taking
4
me?
people. No, that'll be me, her, and these 2 that we leave with. Or there will be us 4 and 2 more. But if you don't have the people we're looking for, there will be 4 people leaving in our party today.
This is interesting, because I don't intend to leave without some sort of deal. To let you leave without some sort of deal. I take it you're uninterested in selling the God's blood, then. That's a no there.
It's a hard no.
I think he's made that pretty clear, friend.
Yes. But the predicament that you're in is it's kind of like walking into a bar in a dark, dangerous place with a large bag of money just there. It's bad business just to let something like that go. Fine. What do you have to trade for the information of the 2 from what I'm guessing, based on context and the God's blood nature that they seem to share? Your children. So quite valuable information now. And the eyes flash with fire, very similar to the way that yours do, Domen.
We have anything to offer you short of people. Or souls, because y'all deal in souls too, right?
That was going to be the next. I was willing to take, if not the God's blood, a soul or 2. Hers is worth much below.
What about a bounty?
What sort of bounty?
Is there anybody you need taken out? That is something that we are very good at.
You deal with people. Is there anybody you need acquired?
I was assuming that was off the table.
No, I just won't sell her.
Interesting. Give me a moment to think. There is one. There's an individual that has been causing some issues with my boss's line of business. Something of a vigilante. If you'd be willing to find him and bring him to me, alive, preferably, I think I could get you the information you need.
Great offer, but seems a little uneven, I think. Information for information, people for people. Happy to bring you this gentleman, if you can bring me one as well. Or a lady.
Bringing them is difficult. That the individual that has them is I don't want to say untouchable. You do seem like quite a capable lot.
That's fine. We can provide information.
For information, though.
Perhaps you have something that needs fixing.
It's a little less morally gray of a suggestion. Yeah.
Nothing really that needs fixing, aside from, again, my problem with the vigilante.
Do you know their location? Their
I
name?
do, and I'm willing to trade their location to each of you for either or. One favor to be collected at a later time that does not involve kidnapping, selling, or killing anyone. Or, and the tail flicks again, and 4 vials all simultaneously come sliding to a stop. Blood from each of you.
That might be difficult to get from me.
It'd be hard on at least one account.
Oil? Anything that would contain a level of your own essence. Blood of the 3 of you is fine. And he picks up one of the other vials and just tosses it behind him. It shatters against the wall.
I'm not going to propose to indict this one into our own issue. I think I would be amiable for a favor at a later point in time.
Same.
Excellent. So I take it the 2 of you are the only heavily vested, so we'll say the favor is yours to pay. Again, it will not require the killing, kidnapping, selling, I'll even put maiming, injuring, hurting of anyone. And in return, I'll tell you the location of Mav and Lear. And if you're going to ask, no, you didn't tell me their names.
It's a deal.
Excellent. And he flicks his hand, and a roll of parchment appears and unfurls towards you. And he just holds up, and a pen appears, or a quill, and he hands it to Angelle first. Just sign along the bottom then.
She grabs it. Signs her name large, John Hancock style.
Excellent. And the line is below it, my friend.
This one, Domen will read. Top to bottom.
And I'm assuming you do speak Infernal?
That's a great... Yes, I do.
You do. Excellent. Read through. Go ahead and make an intelligence check with advantage, given the fact that you are a tiefling.
Devil's blood.
This is literally in your blood.
16 plus 0 is 16.
16. It seems pretty... It is long. There's a lot of fine print and details. The thing that stands out to you is there is a line in it that says the restrictions on the no killing, kidnapping, maiming, selling, injuring, blah 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 of any individual is not encompassing on if the party of which the favor is requested is unable to come up with another solution to the favor that doesn't how am I trying to say this? It is up to you guys. Like, if he just asks you to get an item, if you feel like you have to kill or hurt somebody in order to get to it, that's not him, because he's not on him, because he's not asking you to kill or hurt anybody. He is asking you to get an item. It's one of those, if you don't feel like you can do it without hurting somebody, that's still part of the contract. Like, you're still on the hook for it.
So this is if he asks us to remove competition, he technically hasn't asked us to kill anyone.
Yes, it's very much like it's up to you guys to find
How
out how to do that without killing or hurting anybody.
Um,
And there is a final stipulation that is caught that if you fail to deliver on the favor, either 2 souls or 1 God's blood body will be demanded in recompense.
okay, and as I read through that, I will redline in that the 2 souls or God's blood body are not to include the party or direct blood relations to said party.
Looks nice. I suppose as long as you can provide them, it still falls within the bounds of the contract.
And signs, flips it 180 degrees and slides it back to him.
Excellent. And he signs with a big flourish along the bottom, and it rolls up, and he kind of grabs it and pulls to the side, and the second copy is like separated from it, both whole, and he hands it to you, and he goes, in duplicate. And
For our
I
records,
have
I
one in
assume.
case for your records and for mine. And he, and just in a puff of smoke and fire, it's just consumed in front of you. And
I
Tell
will
us where they are.
cast Mage Hand on our copy because I can't do that cool poofy thing, and the Mage Hand will just slide it back into my back pocket.
I appreciate the theatrics. They currently are enjoying a much more prosperous life than any of us, unless you yourselves are coming from the Mesos tier.
Which I could say we were.
The Kaelden family, age-old acquaintances. I appreciate if you don't should you come to, speak with them, you leave me out of the conversation. That's professional etiquette and whatnot. They, with their connections to the church, something of collectors of God's bloods and related artifacts, texts, people, really anything of divine origin. They purchased them for quite a sum. If it helps, last I saw, the 2 of them were both alive.
You saw them with your own eyes.
They came to me. Their group seemed to have gotten into some trouble before entering the city. They were, of course, went down on their luck, sent to me. I fed them, clothed them, and offered to put them to work as payment for the services I so generously provided. They denied. But the contracts they signed, when they chose to stay with my benefactor, stipulated that should they not pay back through work, that they would be required to immediately recompense the providing party with gold equal to the value of the services provided, and if not, they would then be forfeit. Though I saw them, I did not do the deal myself. It's pretty common in these parts, and I don't think they were familiar with the value that they inherently provide.
How much?
How much gold?
Yes.
I believe it was somewhere in the sum of 5,000 per. You would get, I think, quite a bit more. But I apologize. That is not part of the deal. But if you ever find yourself on hard times, new deals can always be struck. Is there anything else I can do for you?
The door, I think. It's the only thing else we need.
Right, sorry. It's generally locked during negotiations. Ilden, be a dear, would you? And the drow, who had half unsheathed the sword at his hip, slides it back into place, reaches and unlocks the door. I hope we can do business again soon.
God, I don't. And I'll turn 180 and walk out the door.
And as you all walk out the door, I think that is where we're going to end it tonight.
Ooh, man, the rage.
I'm like, I feel like I'm getting into some dangerous territory. I think Rachel's going to come through and just kill me.
No, I think Angelle is gonna figure out how to get her kids and then come back and burn this place.
All right. Well, we will see if that happens next time on Easy Dispel. I really hope we see you guys again. Come join us. Pretty sure on Thursday for games. It's going to be one of several things. We'll announce it right beforehand. And next week for more D&D. Have a great week. We'll see you next time on Easy Dispel. Bye.
Woo!